Hey friends, welcome to today's video. Today we are doing a drugstore makeup look. I got some new products from Physcian's formula. It was sent to me in PR, but I have yet to play with it, and I'm excited to try this out. This is the Breakfast Club collection. So there is a palette that launched with this. There are two different face palettes. There's a volume 1 and a volume 2. I have them both. The volume 2 appears to be a little bit darker than the volume 1, so it looks like they have an option for lighter and darker skin, which is nice. It also launched with 3 lipsticks, and I think I love all 3 shades. I have yet to swatch them. I actually haven't swatched anything from this collection yet, so this will kind of be like a first impressions. And then to supplement the rest of my makeup, I'm using products from Revlon, Elf, L'Oreal. So I'm gonna try and keep this 100% drugstore tutorial because I feel like we are overdue for that. All right, you guys, so let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna start with my foundation, and I pulled this out of my drawer. This is the Revlon Candid Foundation, and this is one of my favorite foundations from the drugstore. I'm the shade 260 Chai, by the way. I love this foundation for a nice, lightweight, natural looking foundation. It has been a while since I've used this, so let's go and apply this and see if it's as I remember it being. I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 106 brush, and I like to just go straight from my brush to my hand. I start in the center of the face and I just kind of press, build a little more coverage there. This foundation really looks like skin. It doesn't really lean matte or glowy either way. It just has a very natural finish on me, and it blends out so quick and beautifully. I have this little friend here that it was starting as a pimple, and I couldn't resist the urge to mess with it, and it never actually fully developed into a pimple, but because I irritated it so much, it is like living there underneath the surface, just being very stubborn. Oh, this foundation is so nice, and this color is like an exact match to my skin tone. My skin has been a little more on the dry side lately. I'm actually gonna go from my mirror. I'm gonna get the product off my mirror with my brush. I have had really dry skin lately. I think it's a combination of, you know, getting a little older. Also, a lot of time in the sun this summer has kind of dried out my skin, but I'm noticing that this foundation is just like setting like really quickly. This and the L'Oreal Fresh Wear are probably my 2 favorite drugstore foundations. What are yours? What are your top 2? Well, let's say top 3. What are your top 3 drugstore foundations? Before I go in with concealer, I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of an eye cream underneath my eyes just to keep the concealer from looking heavy. And this is not drugstore, but this is all that I have up here. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Cryo Recovery Eye Serum. I'm just gonna use the tiniest bit of that, kind of just press it between my fingers and just press it underneath the eye. I'm using a bit of a thicker consistency concealer, so I really wanna make sure that my under eyes are hydrated so that it doesn't look heavy. So I'm going in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have the shade Medium Peach, and I'm just gonna apply a little bit right in the inner corner. And I'm also gonna just take a little bit and kind of put it here in the outer corner just to give my eye a little bit of lift. I've really been loving to apply my concealer this way. And I'm gonna go in with our BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy Concealer Brush. Okay, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna start right in the inner corner and just press to blend this in, and then lift up here to give the eye a nice natural lift. This concealer gives really great coverage. It says it's hydrating. Again, my skin is so dry right now that it kind of just sets pretty quickly. It is like 1,000,000 degrees in Texas right now. Oh my gosh. I am like just so looking forward to fall and cooler temperatures. Just get me through the next 2 months, and hopefully we get some cooler temperatures. I'll even take like 95. I will take 95 over 105. It's been 105, 108. I mean, it's crazy the last couple of weeks. Okay, so now that I have blended that in, I'm going to go and set the foundation and concealer. I'm using the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder, the loose powder, and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 108 brush. It's a smaller powder brush. I'm actually gonna dump a little bit into the lid. I don't need a lot, just a little. And I'm gonna start on my nose, and then right here in the center of my face, and then underneath my eyes. I'm also gonna powder the forehead a bit and around the mouth. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill the brows in. I'm excited because I picked up an oldie, like an old favorite. It has been a while since I used this, but this is one of my favorite drugstore brow pencils. This is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil. I've been using the NYX Fill and Fluff Brow Pencil a lot. I think that's a newer launch, and I like that one, but this is like my favorite NYX brow pencil. And I got the shade Ash Brown. So I'm gonna go and just kind of comb my baby brows in place place, and we are going to just start at the bulk of the brow and do slight little sketches to fill it in. This is the perfect color. It's very like ashy and cool tone, which is good for me. I like to create a little bit of an arch here because I don't really have one. So I just kind of slowly sketch up, and then I lift my pencil, and then I meet the top and I slowly sketch down. Instead of trying to create the perfect arch in one stroke, it can tend to look drawn in or fake. Just light, soft little strokes is going to give you more of a natural, softer brow, which I am all about. I'm gonna go and do the other side. So Brooklyn is away at summer camp right now. She's never done summer camp. This is her first year to do it. It's kind of like a big deal. I didn't grow up going to summer camps when I was a kid, and I'm just so excited for her. I feel like I'm kind of living through her in this experience. I'm so happy for her. I can't wait to hear about her adventures. But it's 2 weeks. She's away for 2 weeks, which is crazy. We just dropped her off on Saturday, and today's Monday, so I'm only a couple of days in and I already miss her. But the camp is great because they have an app that basically identifies her face in every picture that they take there, and they upload pictures to the app. So I already have like 40 pictures of her. Every day we get refreshed, you know, a feed of all the photos. So I get to see what she's doing, and she just looks so happy. I'm so excited and happy for her. Okay, next I'm filling in my brows a little bit with this Revlon brow gel. This is the Color Stay Brow Fiber. I really like this brow gel. The wand is pretty unique. I'm gonna show you guys up close. So it has like at the top of it, which is like your basic kind of short, chubby little brush. And then I don't know if you can see, but it extends down on one side. So you have a little bit more of a narrow, skinnier brush. If you wanna kind of create more fibers and fullness at the tail, you can do that with this. Because if you use a tip on the tail, it's a bit thick. So I like that they did that. I haven't seen that before. Okay, next we're gonna go in and bronze and warm up the face. I'm gonna use the Volume 1 palette. This palette comes with 2 highlighters. It comes with 2 blush shades, and then it comes with 2 shades for bronzer. I'm gonna go in with the darkest bronzer. It's called Class of 84, and I'm gonna use the BK Beauty 103. This is our bigger, fluffier bronzer brush, and I'm just going to press it onto the skin. Since I haven't worked with this product before, I don't know how pigmented it's gonna be. So I'm gonna use a bigger, fluffier brush because it's gonna apply it in a more lighter manner. That way, if it's really pigmented, I don't apply too much. I'm just gonna kind of sweep this into my hairline. Because this brush is so big, I'm really just keeping the product right there for the hairline. So I'm just using that part of the brush too. Because if I use the full face of the brush, then I'd have bronzer all over my entire forehead. And I already have a little forehead, so I don't need to make it more little. I need to make it smaller. I am a fan of Physician's formula bronzers. You guys know that the Butter Bronzer is my favorite drugstore bronzer. And I just find overall they have really great products. I think that their face powders, their blushes, their bronzers, they're all pretty consistently nice. I just love bronzer, you know? That's like one of those non-negotiables for me. I don't feel complete without a little bronzer. Pretty. Okay, next let's go in with blush since we are already here. I'm gonna take my BK Beauty 107. This is the travel size, so it's a shorter handle, just FYI. And I don't even know which one I wanna do. Both of these shades look so pretty. You have Princess, which is a matte peach. Then you have the Rebel, which is a matte cool tone, kind of like bubblegum pink, but not too bright or dark. I'm gonna mix them both because I cannot decide and I kind of love them both. So we're just gonna do this. Smile, start at the apples and kind of sweep up. How has your blush application changed as you've gotten older? That is a question I would love your input on. I used to always focus my blush on the apples of my cheek. Now that I'm getting a little bit older and I'm noticing that my face, you know, is starting to change, my face shape is starting to change. Notice that when I pull it up here and kind of sweep it around, it really does lift my cheekbones and give me kind of the cheeks I had 10 years ago. Okay, this is nice. It's got a good amount of pigment, but you can work with it. Like it's a little bit more pigmented than most blushes, but you can really blend it out and work with it. It's completely matte, so there's no shine or shimmer to it, which I can appreciate a good matte blush. Last, I'm gonna take the 108 brush and I'm just gonna go over right under the eyes just to kind of soften and make the blush look more natural. Now, I didn't add anything to this product, to this brush, so this is just working off of what we used earlier to set underneath the eyes. Okay, next we're gonna go in and apply our eyeshadow. So at first glance at this palette, I like the colors. I wish there was a lighter transition shade that was matte. The only matte shades we have here is this light kind of vanilla color. Then you have this really orangey warm matte shade. Then you have this very dark brown matte. And I want to go in and build a transition, but I'm not really seeing a great shade for that. So we're gonna switch gears. I'm gonna take the vanilla shade and I'm just gonna take a big fluffy crease brush and I'm gonna apply this all over the eye from the brow to the lid. And I'm gonna sweep this pretty generously. What this is gonna do is it's gonna set the primer, but it's also gonna put a little bit of a light layer of eyeshadow there that's lighter. So it's gonna make any shade that I put on top of it a little bit lighter. Because I don't have a perfect ideal transition shade in here, I want that because I want to basically dilute down this really warm shade. I'm going to go in with that shade next. I'm just going to use the tip of the brush so that I don't pick up too much product. And we're going to go right in the crease and kind of work our way over. And I'm just going to go back and forth, back and forth. So having that light vanilla shade kind of dilutes this down a little bit. It also creates a more even application, so it's not going to be patchy. When you're working, when you kind of go in with a deep color like this right off the bat, you run the risk of getting a little bit of a patchy payoff, and it can be harder to blend. So apply a matte like skin tone color down first and it'll really help give you that really airbrush soft application. All right, so I'm gonna go right in there. This is a nice color. It is very, very warm right off the bat. I do wish that I had something in here that was, like I said, more of a true transition shade that wasn't so orange, but I'm gonna take my time to sheer this out. Next, I'm gonna go in with this brown shade right here. This does have some shimmer to it, but I'm gonna treat this kind of like a transition shade because I really do need to kind of tone this orange down a bit. So I'm gonna grab that and work it right on the outer half of the lid and into the crease. So that tones down that orange quite a bit. It does add some shimmer to it, as you can see, but it really did a great job of toning down that orange. Next, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna pack a color onto the lid. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm using a flat shader brush and loading up the side of the brush. I'm just gonna go and kind of press that onto the eyelid. Ooh, that's a beautiful color. I love that. I didn't actually expect it to pay off this like this. It's a nice light yellowy golden shade. So pretty. So just pack that right in the inner corner. Okay, next I wanna go ahead and I wanna deepen the outer corner. So I'm gonna go in and I'm actually gonna take this darkest brown matte shade, but I'm taking a smaller crease brush. This is the Angie A502 BK Beauty brush, and I'm going to get a little bit, but I'm gonna kind of tap off the excess. Whenever I'm working with a really dark shade like that, I really like to make sure that I don't have too much shadow onto my brush. And I'm gonna work that right in the outer corner and just kind of work my way in. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, I like what that does to this look. Okay, next I'm gonna go in and line the eyes. I'm gonna tight line the eyes. I'm using the e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner in the shade Black. And I'm going to tight line. So I'm gonna line the waterline on the upper lash line. Okay, that didn't really go on too great for tight lining. I don't know that I would recommend this pencil for tight lining. Yeah, went on pretty sheer. Let's line the actual lid and see how this pays off. Oh, much better. Okay, this goes onto the skin beautifully, but doesn't really quite pay off on a wet waterline. So I'm just gonna create a little bit of liner here. I'm not gonna line the lower lash line with black. I really like to kind of stay away from doing that. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna line my lower lash line with this e.l.f. No Budge Shadow Stick. This is a creamy, bronzy, shimmery texture. So it's going to give a much softer look on the lower lash line than it would with a dark black liner. And I'm gonna go pretty liberally from the inner corner to the outer corner because this is pretty light in color. I'm not too worried about taking it all the way over. Usually I will stay away from lining all the way from the outer corner to inner corner if I have a dark color, but this is pretty light. Next I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take a little bit of the darkest brown that we used, and I'm gonna take the same brush and I'm just gonna run this on the outer corner of that lower lash line, just to deepen that a little bit, give a little more definition. Take the 108 and just kind of clean up any fallout. Next, we're gonna go ahead and curl the lashes. We are going to apply lash primer and mascara, and today I'm working with the L'Oreal Voluminous Primer, and I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Waterproof Mascara. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply those and I'll be right back. Ooh, this is a great primer, you guys. Really builds right after like the first coat. I know I've used this product in the past, but it has been so long, I can't recall how I felt about it. Nice. Okay, next we're gonna go in with the mascara. Actually, we're not gonna use L'Oreal. I'm gonna use the new Physicians Formula Breakfast Club Detention Mascara. It came in this collection. Let's see what we think about this. Okay, this is nice. This is giving good length and volume. Okay, So this mascara can build to give a lot of drama. Lots of volume, lots of length. It can get a little clumpy, like it's getting a little clumpy over there, but it's not a bad look. It's not like a bad clumpy, it's just not a super separated lash. I like it though, especially for this look because I've got a little bit of drama happening with the eyes, so I really like it. Okay, next we're gonna go in and line the lips, and I'm gonna go in with the NYX Line Loud Lip Pencil. This is the shade Born to Hustle. Pretty. Very, very smooth. It glides on, really creamy, nice level of pigment. Okay, let's go into these lipsticks and see which we're gonna do. I kind of wanna do this one here. This is the shade Get Real. So we have Get Real, which is this shade here. Then we have the shade I Don't Like Mondays, which is more peachy. So once you build these, they have good pigment payoff. When you first swipe it, it's a little bit sheer, but it does build. I like both of these shades a lot. And then next we have The World is an Imperfect Place. Okay, so basically we have a cool tone pink, a nude peach, and then we have a warm kind of peachy pink here. Those are the three shades we have. I'm gonna go in with the first that we swatched, which is that more cool tone bubblegum pink. Okay, well actually I take that back. Quite a bit of pigment on that first swipe. Ooh, that's pretty bright. I like it. And this is the finished look. I love the way that it came out, 100% drugstore. I'll have all of these products listed and linked in the description box below. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comment section down below. And don't forget, leave me your favorite drugstore foundations. I've been sitting on the L'Oreal Fresh Wear and this one for quite a bit. I need some more to mix in. So what haven't I tried that I definitely need to try? Let me know. Thank you guys for your time and watching this video, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.